This next decade, 2020 to 2030, was going to be a very unpleasant decade for society in general. But one particular demographic will be impacted the most, and unfortunately, I believe it's going to be the baby boomers. So today I came across an article on CNBC and just thought I would definitely just take a minute to share my thoughts on it. And it's entitled, Baby Boomers Are Struggling to Downsize, and it could create the next housing crisis. And so I'll link it down below. And I encourage you guys to take a time to just, thumb through it briefly. And especially if you're in a baby, if you're in the older demographic is age-wise, definitely check it out. Because I think right now is a time where more people should have already strategized on how they are going to not only maintain, but yet look for opportunities to take advantage of the current environment we're in now, as far as monetary policy and fiscal policy coming to a collision course at this current moment. And it doesn't help when you have a president today talk about the need for negative interest rates and more easing, and that we should be leading the world in those categories. Lets me know that it's going to be very problematic in days ahead for conventional financial advice, as well as the whole idea of saving. To come back to hurt a lot of people if you do it in that old, outdated way. But I'll get to that later. But this article here, Baby Boomers, is very interesting. Starts off with a story being told out in California. A couple retired, looking to downsize and move closer to their children to help, as a grandparent. And they sold their house, thought they were actually going to have enough money to purchase another home, but started moving and realized that they didn't have enough money to purchase another house in California close to their child. And so now they're renting, and they're just talking about how, they're rethinking their plans now because they're not sure that they're going to be able to retire as planned next year, especially. And so that got me to thinking about, man, we're entering a time frame where there's about 74 million people looking to retire and a lot more coming. And I'm thinking man, this is going to be the worst decade to really try to retire, because monetary policy will guarantee that there will be very little yield on portfolios in a safe manner. Hedge fund managers, money managers, they're going to have to become very risky to get yield, to make those promises of 7, 8, 6% returns on portfolios. So with that being the case, that whole model is going to bring a lot of things into question. But when it comes to the baby boomer generation, this article here lists several things that's worthy of taking time to think about, because housing, healthcare costs, all those things are things that should be of concern. And in the article, they don't talk about inflation. They don't talk about the fact that, just the overall cost of those things are going to continue to go up. And so they give you ways of trying to avoid that. And it has to do with more debt, taking out loans, refinancing. And they're saying the rates are at a relative high pace. But yet, because of this negative interest rates, it's going to be easier to refinance in another year or so as rates continue to drop down. But that's not necessarily a good thing, because once again, you have a lot of baby boomers looking to sell their current real estate or trying to refinance that real estate to get lower rates. And so that's going to be a banking situation in of itself. And so just this whole concept of retiring coming up soon, I believe it's going to be very problematic, where I kind of feel for those that have dedicated their entire lives back when things were somewhat normal to save and to live comfortable this portion of their lives. And at this current moment, there's going to be a lot of reneged upon promises that, unfortunately, millions of people will have no real, course of action to counter that, just because, this is just how this debt cycle is coming to an end, unfortunately. And so it's really important, I believe, to begin strategizing already as to how you're going to live those remaining years of your life. And my first thought would be, if you're currently working, I wouldn't encourage people to get out of the workforce, because once you leave the workforce in this next 10 years, the workforce is already going to change as far as the role and the way jobs are performed. And so right now, as I mentioned before, try to milk the system for as much as you can. Readjust your plans as best as you can to get as much value out of the system while you can, because pretty soon the system, unfortunately, is going to renege on its promises to you. And so definitely you might want to begin really considering cost of things moving forward and strategizing on how you can maneuver in this environment. But this article, get back to that, it's very telling of where things are going, because they're calling it a housing crisis. and it's more so just a lack of affordability for housing, especially on the East and West Coast. It's going to be a situation where baby boomers are going to be priced out of the market in a lot of areas because inflation will pick up and fixed income instruments are going to be a problem because there won't be any yield available for those things to actually pay out the way that people think they are supposed to pay out. And it's unfortunate the baby boomer generation will be the most impacted because they are at the point of looking to withdraw out of this system, and there may not be much to withdraw that will be of value to them when it comes to their currency, especially in purchasing power. So once again, for those that are regular to the channel, you understand my philosophy. Get your weight up, get your weight, get physical, get tangible, produce things that create cash flow. And the whole model of investing is changing right now. The idea of parking currency in a location, anticipating on it growing by itself, the atmosphere we're in is not really favorable for that. So investing, the whole concept of investing is being altered right now. So other than that, just want to share this quick article. Take time, read it for yourself. Let me know your thoughts on that. Strategy-wise, if you're a baby boomer, if you're in the investment world or in the advice world of giving information to people, what are some things that people should really look to do? Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely look to find out what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this little back and forth, don't be afraid to give it a thumbs up. Share this information or share the article at least, so those that are entering into that phase of life can be beyond warned that they shouldn't really expect much, even though they've been promised a lot, just because the system, unfortunately, has lied to us all. But they're going to be the ones that's going to be impacted the most. So definitely look forward to read some of the comments. And as always, for those that are interested, get your weight up. Silver, RTD silver coin still available. Take advantage of that opportunity because right now silver, gold, they are money. And if you're in real money, it's just a matter of being patient on the sideline, watching as the nominal paper price go through the roof because monetary policy guarantees it. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your day.